Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around Australia and the rest of this beautiful world we live in. We're here today at Sydney Uni Sports and Recreation Centre to witness the round 3 and game 3 of the Women's National Wheelchair Basketball League competition. Again, we have the Sydney Uni Flames v the Sporting Wheelies Comets in their third game for this weekend, the final game. Now, I had a bit of a disruption last night. Matt Wells ran away from me and jumped on a plane and went back to Thailand with his lovely wife. So today we've got a special guest, Steve Elliott, who's a Wollongong Rollerhawks player. Steve, how you going, mate?
Yeah, great. Thanks. Thanks for having me. Hopefully it's going to be a really good packed-in game.
No worries, and we must let people know that Hannah Dodd is Steve's partner, so if he's a little bit biased towards her, then fair enough. That should be okay, Steve, don't you think?
I think so. You got to pick out the bad with the good.
certainly can. Like Hannah and Steve, we'll talk about it a little bit at quarter time about their exploits overseas. So we're off on racing. Flames ball. Annabelle Lindsay, copybook off the backboard shot there for 2 to start the game.
So watching the last few games, what do you reckon Brisbane can do to slow down Annabelle?
Put 5 players on her. might be a start. No, it's really, really challenging, obviously. Shot by DeVale. Laura, fantastic shot.
Would you put someone like Laura on a little bit more of a press kind of thing to slow her down a little bit?
I don't think so. With that, Brisbane just don't have the speed to match her, so it's just going to be an open run to the basket with Hannah slicing through and setting her up. So my suggestion would be is to have 2 bigs on her side and try and trying to get out to make her take outside shots, because the majority of her shots are inside the key.
For sure.
So you can normally see they have 2 players either side, a nice seal underneath the basket. Oh, the volley up, just nice shot. Steve, explain what that young girl, number 22, did then.
Yeah, so Izzy is basically a sealer. So your low pointers love to seal the high pointers in. And Laura is trying to take all the power, and then Izzy's just trying to get underneath their chair and get Laura into the basket.
So basically we're saying high pointers can't get into the key by themselves. They need our low pointers help. Is that what we're saying, Steve?
Definitely, yeah. It definitely makes it a lot easier.
It certainly does. There was a foul there. So Brodie on the line to shoot 2. Now, we may have mentioned this in last night's telecast, but Brodie is an able-bodied player. So she plays as a 4.5-point player. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about the classification system in a minute. But Brodie's started playing a number of years ago in our local league here in Sydney. And you can see she's got a fantastic left-handed shot. She's an able-bodied basketball player. And she plays at a very, very high level here. So 1 out. What does 1 out mean, Steve?
Basically, in wheelchair basketball, we don't have lateral movement, so we're able to hold a player out. And then with that 1 out, we're trying to spread the floor as wide as possible to get those gaps. So we saw that Allison went wide out to the 3-point line, and then she was able to get that gap into the basket with that clean, crisp pass to her.
Yeah, and you see like Hannah's got Izzy out there at the moment, so what they tend to do is spread the floor and try and find a mismatch. Another pick and roll. A lot of space there. Inside. Oh, just missed that. Rebound. Good D there. Oh, stolen. Nice, strong. Not going to miss that from that close. I mean, obviously rebounding, important.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to stay chair on, and the 24 seconds doesn't really start until one of your players has possession. So as long as you box out, you can let that ball bounce as many times as you want.
Yeah.
So we're taught to just stay on chair until you have a clean path to get it.
Oh, nice shot there, Alison Mosley over the top inside. So Alison made a bit of a comeback. I coached her in 2004 when we won silver in Athens. So she's a lovely person and a fantastic player. So they've stopped inside, but someone might want to stop Hannah. So they stopped the big, which is the most important thing. Leanne, come on, push. I'm sure she's faster than that. So Sydney Flames ball.
And it's also really hard for Queensland as they don't play together every day. A lot of them are up north and stuff like that, so they come for the weekend of games.
Yeah.
And then they also have a lot of Melbourne players come in to make up the numbers.
Yeah, very difficult to work out some teamwork and things like that. You can see there, like, one of the biggest challenges is for Queensland to don't let Annabelle in the key. Like, you know, it's not rocket science, so to speak. And if you can make that from out there, great shot. But if you want to take the percentages down a bit, don't let her inside. Now, the kind of defence we play is a quarter court, and what's it called? What's your terminology for it?
So there's a few ways. So if we're going in the keyway, it's just keyway D. And then if it's a 3-point line, it's a D cup.
Yeah, a D or T cup.
Yeah.
And basically the concept, I think it was developed by Mike Frogley in Illinois, a Canadian coach. And so you were get up on the 3-point line and basically match up one player each, trying to push them wide so that again she's inside. Probably not a good idea to let her in there. Hannah's free. Oh, didn't hit the ring. Good defense. Good defense.
You can see that Brisbane is trying really hard to get that one out, knowing how much advantage it gives them.
So Izzy's got one out here. Hannah comes and smashes her, using a chair as a weapon, as you do sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. They say it's a non-contact sport, but there is a lot of contact.
Yeah, I think they're dreaming, and the referees have some idea sometimes, most of the time, what is proper contact and what is illegal contact.
For sure.
And Matt Wells here last night was trying to explain something about a path and things like that. I didn't understand what he was saying, but I'm sure this means something that basically you've got to try and have your chair in front of the defender to stop their nice shot from outside. Rebound by Brody. So Hannah's looking to cross now. She's doing a good defense on there. Good contact. Oh, so there you go. I may have not called that, but our referee did. That's fine. But it was good defense there. The three players trying to stop people from crossing so they didn't get an advantage. So Hannah at the top of the key. Probably one of her favourite shots, I reckon. So we're spreading the floor, ball in the middle. We might have picked that.
It's very interesting to watch the two types of games where Brisbane is definitely trying to slow the game down, use their many shooters and experience, where Sydney is trying to speed up the game and trying to get Annabelle in the key as quick as possible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, it's a mismatch there. Again, shooting outside, the percentages go down a bit. Good defense by Brisbane. So nice pass. So here inside, Izzy. That's a low pointed shot. They've got to make that shot on a higher percentage to win. Job Bree. Lots of advantages here. Oop. Inside. Oh, referee, yes. Nice pass, Bree. So Bree's a one-pointer, sits up very high as a one-pointer, but has disability in her right-hand side of her body and can't actually grip the rim. So you can see she has a glove on, so that makes it her one-pointer. She has that disability in that right-hand side of it. Nice shot from Bowley again. Oh, I reckon charge on Annabelle there. Certainly, Bowley had her path certainly covered there. Okay, time out to Brisbane. They lead. Is it 10-9?
10-9.
10-9, there you go.
Definitely.
Great job.
So what do you reckon Brisbane is doing differently today than what they were doing yesterday to keep in this lead?
I think that certainly they're trying to get a chair on Annabelle, not letting her inside the key to take those easy inside shots. I mean, last night, I don't know how many times you saw her curl underneath. Someone's given up the baseline, as you know. You don't give up the baseline. It's a mortal sin in wheelchair basketball because it's really, really hard to defend. And if that big can get underneath there and spin, it's very, very, very hard to stop them. So I think that's a plan. And the other thing is like they're using the clock, because if you chuck up a one pass, one shot, and they rebound, they're running at you. Hannah and all those girls are really going hard to try and get an easy basket, so that makes a difference. Now, can I ask you a question, Stephen, this time out? Your journey through wheelchair basketball, yourself and Hannah, where have you started and where have you ended up?
Yeah, for sure. So, a few years ago through COVID, we didn't have a national league anymore. So we made the difficult decision of going overseas. So that means that you live overseas for 6 to 8 months a year and play over there. So we went for our first season. We went to Italy, and that was very brutal, very eye-opening.
What was the first word you learnt when you went to there? The word I learnt when I coached there was damani.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that or water, aqua. Because when the training happened, you wanted more water. So that was a really good opportunity and very eye-opening to see how professionally athletes train every day in different environments.
Yeah.
But having different cultures come in.
Right, Alison.
Come in and perform under one team.
Yeah.
And then this season we ventured into the German league.
Yep.
We see Annabelle posting up.
So
nice
again,
shot.
you can't allow that. We had two bigs on her to get her inside there. It's really, really difficult to defend. You've got to be able to stop that.
So yeah, we went to the German league in the top division. It's classed as one of the best leagues in the world, and it was a great experience. We only got 2 wins for the season, but what we learnt was words can't think of it. It's just. Yeah, the difference in play and stuff like that is just world class. You get all the players are chasing a Paralympics or have been to a Paralympics, and it's where everyone wants to get to. Yeah,
that's unreal, man. So that's a lot of Australians now take the outside shot from Annabelle, another 2 points.
So with Annabelle heating up now, what do you reckon they're going to have to change to?
Well, not obviously, but you probably want to jump to get out there to make a pass to someone else.
Yeah,
that's the idea. Make someone else beat you, Tori. Yeah, make someone else beat you. So that's easier said than done. If you don't, 3-on-2 here. A nice pass, Steph Van Leeuwen underneath. Another great one-pointer that possibly should be in the Gliders program, but apparently not, I've heard. So 15-14 here now. Rowley beats that. Nice shot. Hannah's on a fast break. Wow, the speed is incredible. Take that. So obviously Hannah is reasonably quick. And that's obviously through a lot of hard work, but to have a one-pointer that quick is such an advantage to any team she plays for. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. She's worked very hard on that. And it's not just on the court. Like, the gym plays a huge factor in speed. Oh, beautiful shot.
Easy. Chuck it up there, son. That's a fantastic shot. Looks like she makes those shots every day. Oh, nice pass by Liesel again. Steph Van Leeuwen.
But we can see that Brisbane definitely need to slow the game down.
Yep.
Sydney's had quite a few fast breaks already. And for Brisbane to get the league back, they just need to slow it down and control their game.
Another shot there, Leanne. Del Torzo had a mismatch really there on that. So ooh. One of those oohs. So one of the things I suppose people ask when some of the players go overseas, what's the accommodation? Do you get paid? What's the go?
Yeah, so when we were just in German League, we're just classed as a working visa. So they give us a minimum contract. And depending on how many years experience and how much they think you're worth is what your salary is. And then you live off that, but all your accommodation and travel and stuff is paid by the club.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really a good experience. So like the only bills we had was our food and phone bill. So everything else is covered.
That's unreal. That's fantastic. So how many Aussies are over there, playing the game, proving their game?
There would be at least 10 of us at the moment. And they're always after a lot more.
Yep.
Like,
why are they like Australians? Because of the way we talk and that?
No, I think it's very hard in the sense that to get us over there is so expensive. So they've got to factor that into their salary and stuff like that. So, for a European player, they're paying maybe 200-300 euros in flights, but for us they're paying $1,500 in flights. So that's a huge factor in what they want to do. Plus we're classed as international athletes, so they have to pay an international tax on us.
Oh wow, okay, there you go. What do the stats look like?
Yeah, for sure. So for Sydney they have Annabelle 6 from 9. And then for Brisbane, it's an equal tying field with Allison and Liesel. And they're 3 for 4 and 3 for 5. So I can see that, Brisbane is slowing it down. And they're just only one shot behind them. So yeah, that's the difference right now. Yeah,
that's unreal. I mean, that's the tactics working at the moment. I probably think that thank you. Leanne just here. I'll give you $1 if you can shoot the 3, Leanne. No, she didn't. She smiled at that. They're doing a great job. I think the challenge here is then when they sub in, because a lot of the young players are on the court, on the bench there that are going to be challenged against this very strong Sydney Flames lineup. Cavoli, 8 seconds left on the clock. Nice rebound by Izzy.
Yeah, I feel like Sydney has a stronger bench. They can sub in quite a few players and not lose too much.
Oh, nice play, Leanne. Del Torzo. Great play.
Where Brisbane has a lot of pass and current gliders. When you have Allison and how many Paralympics she's been to. And then when you look at their bench where they have very fresh people, it's very hard to sub them into this kind of game.
Yeah. She's missed one. Great rebound by Izzy, fell in a lap. Del Torzo pushing hard. The volley, there you go. Post up, mismatch, and... I don't quite understand that call because she had the ball up in the air looking to shoot. So, anyway, we need Matt Wells' interpretation on that one.
So us short people, when a tall person comes into you and sitting just outside the key, what is your thought process? Like, do you stop them there, or do you just deny them getting into the key?
Well, if you can deny, I mean, one of the biggest things we want to try and get our low point is to just play above their class. So that's so important. If you can, mark a 2.5 or 3.5 or 4.5 for long enough, that is a huge advantage. So 5 seconds left on the clock. 3 on the clock now, so this is going to be a...
It was a sneaky little hand, and it's taking seconds off the clock.
Pass. Oh, yes, shoot that. Allison! Unlucky. Great play. Nice play.
And it's just showing that experience. They knew that they were trying to stop the ball in, but she saw that gap and got there knowing that the seconds don't start until she touches it.
Yeah. Hannah, it's like a layup that's shot from the 45. Pass. Nice pass. And again, what a great seal from Izzy. Great seal.
These shots that Brisbane are making means that Sydney have to slow it down, get it in and stuff like that.
Just give it to Annabelle and shoot out there.
And leading into outside shots instead of Annabelle getting in for those easy looks. Yeah. She is making them, but it makes the game so much harder for them.
Now, I'm not sure what the score is because we've got 23-22 on the board up there. A nice Dory's inside. But on our live stats, we've got 21-20. We'll find out what that is. Oh, Hannah, wow. Off balance. Nice follow through. Off the glass. The glass is your friend.
The other thing Brisbane's doing very well this game is the turnovers. They've only had 3 turnovers this game so far. So if they can keep that down, that's going to help them so much more. Yeah.
Bit rushed that shot, that one. Bit early in the clock. So Sydney Flames ball. I mean, certainly yesterday, Brisbane's had the highest score in the competition so far. They get 42 points, so they're slowly improving, that's for sure. Again from the 45, nothing but net. Wow, what a shot. So what an advantage to have a low pointer to be able to score from outside. It's a fantastic advantage. So Allison's got one out. She's got hopefully creating space. Seal, there we go. Mismatch inside. A bit unlucky on that.
And this is the hardest thing, is when Brisbane takes those 50-50 shots, it means that Sydney can easily get down the court.
Yep. Great defence, Laura De Violi there, because she didn't give up the baseline, and that was great defence. Rule number 55 is don't give up the baseline. Nice pass inside, easy. It's just one of the shots that low pointers have to make in a high percentage, because they give you those shots.
For sure, but it's good that she's looking for that pick and roll.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. That's the positive thing, yeah. Bree, an offensive foul there. Hit Dory fair and square in the middle of the wheel, so that's an offensive foul. Now, the chair is counted as part of your body. Is that correct? Is that what someone told me, a referee told me once?
Yeah, so we strap ourselves into the chair as much as possible so that it can be part of basically extension to our body.
Yep.
So that also means that when we run into each other and stuff like that, it can be offensive to defensive fouls because of that.
Yeah.
We've got to be aware of where our chairs are and what angle we hit each other as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Hannah with the ball, great dribbling. Okay, big inside. Again, Annabelle gets inside, goes to the line for 2 shots. Yes, Steve, like I'm 1,000 years old because in my day we had no anti-tip caster and we had no straps. So it's kind of actually weird and unbelievable to believe that that was possible, because you'd fall out and your chair would go one way and you'd go the other way. Then somewhere along the line someone would bring your chair back if you were lucky.
Yeah.
And you'd have to get yourself back up into your chair again. So, yeah, the guy, Michael Callahan, is now deceased, unfortunately, who made Mogo wheelchairs. He was the guy who invented the anti-tip caster and brought it in. So it made a huge difference to the game.
For sure. Like, the balance that you would have, especially as a low pointer, knowing that if you leant back too far, you would fall over, would be amazing.
Oh, that needs to be a better pass. Like, that was such a great strong side pick and roll. Now we've got...
And unfortunately, that's leaving Sydney to go for a fast break.
Yeah. Okay, inside the paint again. Yep. Another 2 points to Annabelle. Now, obviously, Wollongong must have the week off this week, do they?
Yeah, so we have a bye this weekend due to having 7 teams in the Men League.
Yep.
There's still all the other Men League going, and we get the bye.
Yeah. So I know Manly's up in Brisbane, and they've won their first 2 games. I watched a bit of the live telecast last night. I was quite amazed with the commentator. It's not bad like Tracy. That commentator thing by himself, I don't know how you could do that. Just thankfully, Steve, you said yes. Give us a hand, because it'd be very, very difficult just to commentate by yourself.
Yeah, I feel like you'd just be talking to yourself.
Yeah. Asking a question. Jerry, what do you think about that? That was great, Jerry. Good answer. So again, that was 12 seconds left on the clock there when they threw that up, and it's just it doesn't work. It's just not going to work. We're inside again now. Nice pass to Tracy. Okay, left-handed shot. 2 points. So it's blown out now to a 10-point lead, 33 to 22. So I think it might be a great idea for the coach to have a bit of a timeout and reset their cunning plan, which was working for the majority of the game. Okay, nice shot. Dory.
Yeah, I think just Brisbane needs to slow the game, play their control pace, and then if it's a 50-50 shot, don't take it, because it means that Sydney has that fast break. As you can see, Annabelle hitting that shot there.
Allison gave up the baseline. Can't do it. Just can't do it. It makes it really, 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 really difficult to defend that. Nice job. Okay, again, they gave up the baseline there to Laura. Nice pass there to Allison for 2 points, 35-26 to the Flames. Oh, that's lazy defense. Laura DeVroli then was having a bit of a nap, I think, and forgot that Annabelle Lindsay is the highest point scorer in this game and one of the highest point scorers in the league. To try and stop a chair nice and early. Good chair contact by Allison. Underneath. Ooh.
She was saying that Hannah was backing up and it should have been a foul. It's very hard for a referee to see every little bit of contact and stuff like that, considering there's only 3 of them and they have their own sections.
Yeah.
So to look at 10 people and see wherever they are at all times is very hard for them.
I possibly think they should have a referee for each player. What do you think of that idea?
That'd be very hard to control, I think. I think we need at least more than maybe another 5 fouls each.
Minimum. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of chair contact, and it's, you know, in the men's game, I just shake my head seeing some of the contact that is made, and they get away with.
Yeah, it's very hard in considering it's a non-contact sport, but how well these chairs are built and how fast-paced the games are getting, it's very hard for the referees to decide who's making the contact and if it's offense pushing into defense or if defense pushing into offense.
Yeah.
It's really good that Maddie came on and she's being a little aggressive. She's got to the basket and now she's going to shoot some free throws.
Yeah, no, it's very. How old would Maddie be? Like, they look very old.
I think she's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, she could be a little younger, but she's been training in Brisbane for 3 to 4 years now with the high performance there.
Yep.
And so she trains with men on the daily. She hit that basket, so she's training with the men, and she then finds this a lot more easier.
Yeah, and as people may or may not know, the Wheelchair Basketball League, which is again inside there, the National Wheelchair Basketball League, women play in that competition, and they are given a point deduction. So low point women are very, very valuable to have, because some teams, as like the Roller Hawks, what's your best combination with Hannah on there?
Yeah, so we're able to run Hannah, and then we run 2 high pointers, our 2 fours. So we'll run Tristan Knowles and Sean Russell, myself as a 3-5, and then Popel as a 2-5. So Hannah being a minus player, basically, because the women, when they play in the men's league, lose half a point, a whole point.
Yep.
So she is a 1-pointer, meaning that she plays as a 0.
A 0, yeah. So that's, to have someone who, with her experience and speed, to be able to play as a 0 certainly helps a lot. And the same thing with the Wheel Eagles, the team I help coach. We then have Tori from Parks. She's a 1.5, plays as a 1. Also, Kylie Gauchi plays as a 2 in the women's league. She plays as a 1. So Kylie's a gun player in her own right. So that's certainly a great advantage to be able to do that. Have you any understanding of the classification system? And I had a rough idea a few years ago, but what's your interpretation of it?
It's very hard. I don't know. It used to be if you had 10% of limitation, you were classifiable.
Yep.
And then a few years ago, they changed it to go under the Paralympic Committee and stuff like that. So there is a set rules, but it varies by person to person. I know that they're trying to get a new classifier system where there's more rules and regulations so you fit under a bracket, and that's where you sit.
Yep.
But it's very hard considering how many conditions there are and disabilities there are in the world to put everyone in a bracket. Yeah.
Well, the functional classification system, which the IWBF, National Wheelchair Basketball Federation, it's been so refined, and you just can't cheat. Like, it's really, really difficult. I mean, they watch you play, they, do all that, and there are certain things you can and can't do as a 1 or as a 4.5 or 2.5. You get found out. So I think, then for the IPC to come along and say, no, we want to try and get rid of minimal disability players, and that's basically what it is, in my personal opinion. Could be wrong. But, so for instance, Annabelle Lindsay is no longer classifiable. She cannot play able-bodied basketball. Her knees and the legs are absolutely buggered from many operations. So to me, it's just a ridiculous thing for someone like Annabelle who can't play basketball anymore. I mean, she can play here in our national league, obviously, but won't be allowed to play internationally. So it's to me a bit of a shame, to say the least.
And it's really hard, especially as 4-5s, because once you're in the chair, you're basically the same movement as an able-bod. We look at the Canadian system where they have a team of able-bods that jump in chairs and versus the Canadian team.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's unreal, eh? That's unreal. Because in Canada, I mean, as long as I've been around, a long time, is that their theme is wheelchair basketball sport for all. And so anyone can play. And, for the size of their country and similar to ours, to have more people playing. Like, for instance, for New South Wales Wheelchair Sport ACT, we have regional teams now only exist because we have able-bodied people jump in a chair and play. Like, we may have one or two wheelies in those regions. They can't form a team. They'll never be able to play a team sport.
Yeah.
So to have a bunch of able-bodied people jump in their chair and play, they get to play.
Yeah, and it's really good when able-bods do come in because it could be your friends and family, so that's how you get into the sports as well.
Yeah.
So it's very hard that they've done that. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
That is.
It's very hard that they've done that, but they do need to look into it a little bit more. Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly in our regions now. We've got on Monday. Tomorrow to go to Cowra in southwest New South Wales, where we've got a brand new wheelchair basketball club out there that's been set up through a regional government grant here in New South Wales. So they've got 14 chairs, brand new chairs that we've paid through that grant. We pay for the court hire for a year and a half, and also we pay for our coordinator out there. So, like Cowra, a very small town, but have a number of wheelies, people with disabilities, and now they've got an actual club. And the idea is hopefully they'll play against other regions, like Goulburn has a wheelchair basketball club now, and Parkes, where Tori comes from, will have a wheelchair basketball club soon too, which is great.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, giving another opportunity for someone that possibly didn't have that, and it just gives them another outlet. Like, even if they don't come to this level, like, just another outlet for them to do physical activity.
Yeah. Unlucky, is it? So that's half time. The Flames lead 39-27. We might give our voices a break and have a cup of tea, and we'll see you after the break.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So when do you head back?
So we have a flight booked from the 4th of September. Yeah, so they'll have the Paralympics and they want a couple of weeks off, and then we'll get into the pre-season and stuff like that.
Do you have the Paralympics in your group?
Yeah, so we have Evans is now left, but we have Brian Miller from Germany. Juice is now gone, and then we have Juice is a Canadian 4-5 young Aaron Queensland's 8-8 with the Bulldogs, so they're definitely sticking at it. They just need to slow it down. But the other thing is points over 2 notes. It's only 8, but yesterday it was huge. But 8 is still getting up there, and that's the difference in the score. So that'll be. That could be another tactic where they put a big in the middle and then slide that big over to Annabelle as well. So basically, it's like joint and ligaments not fused, but they don't extend to the limit of what a normal person does. So it's very hard. And she's one of those ones that's afraid to close a little bit. Or an old house with Brisbane, so she doesn't come to Brisbane that often. So they have number 12 and her. They work with Michael Ox at Fraser Coast. And then a couple of times, Hannah and I, we've gone up there and helped train them and stuff like that. And given you tools to improve and stuff like that. You know, as athletes, we listen to you so much, and then we're just like, oh, but you tell me this every day. So, you know, someone else tells you that,
But you understand what I'm saying? I'm always thinking this league. You guys are still able, you're able to shoot the ball, you're able to wield it, you're cheering and stuff like that. So this is like, they're running basketball.
I felt bad last week when your coach started to think of this, and I'm like, just walk away. I'm like, oh shit. Is it rude to say just roll away?
Just roll away.
Let
me push you away.
It was like, just stick your back on, just go away. Yeah. Like, did it to me so you can.
I know. We never help ourselves. We are the worst team in the world. Helen's like, I know. And like, when we're on the bench, shut up, and then we're on the court, we're the ones yelling at us. Like,
the whole 5 years we bitch on the court, and then something silence, and then all 5 on court.
you think we hate each other? You really think we hate each other? Yeah.
What's the post you put up? Just push it around. Throw punches.
Let's go through this. Go through the stats. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, around Australia, around the world, back here at round 3 of the National Women's Wheelchair Basketball League competition, game 3 between the Spinning Bullets Comets and the Sydney Uni Flames. Steve is our special guest commentator today, and he's going to have a look at the stats for us.
Yeah, so with the Sydney Uni, Annabelle is their top scorer with 10 of 15. And then with the Queensland, there's a few of them that are on 4 points. So you have Laura, Allison, and Del Tozo. But the biggest thing that is the difference is points in the paint. Annabelle and Sydney have 24 to their 18. And then the difference with the teams is maybe the turnover to points ratio. So I think Queensland might need a safety just in case they have that turnover so that they can get back and stop the layups. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what Queensland comes out with in this second half to try and stop the onslaught of Annabelle Lindsay, basically. I mean, I think that's one of the challenges is as a coach and as a team, you want to try and make someone else score. And, you know, if you don't get back and set up that D cup nice and tight and know where the shooters are, then that's a challenge straight away.
And I think Queensland still needs to slow that game down. They have really good, talented, old-school basketball players where they need to slow it down on the offense, and then that means that it gives them time to set up their defense.
Yeah, man, so true. I mean, I think offensively, I mean, being able to reverse the ball, get the ball from one side to the other and kind of work away from the ball is, even in the stand-up game, is exactly what you want to try and do. And the same thing in the wheelchair game is to reverse that ball, to turn heads, to try and make people... Because most people watch the ball, because that's apparently if you have the ball, you can score. So it's a good idea to try and watch that, but not all the time. And so that's one of the things we try and do as coaches, trying to get the ball reversal to work away from the ball. Okay, it's a Flames ball.
And the game is started.
So here we go. So, very nice. Again, like Laura, Vola gave up the baseline. Like, he just can't let that happen. It's just so frustrating as a coach to see that happen straight away.
What we're finding, especially with the high pointers, is if they get their front caster wheels in the key, it's usually 2 points.
Yeah.
And I think Brisbane did really well at setting their defense up, but then they just let the high pointer get into the paint to get that post up.
Yeah. So same as the stand-up game, in the shot you want is, best shot is a layup, an open layup. The second shot is probably a pick and roll, and the third shot is the best shot is a mismatch, so in height or speed. So they're probably the 3 shots you're looking for to try and get that. It's a bit of a dispute on the bench over there. But that's one of the things that we would like to say thank you to our bench. They turn up every single week. I'm sure that I don't know if they get paid enough. They don't get paid enough, and they do all the stats for us. It's all live. It's, you know, without them we don't have a competition, and obviously the same thing for our lovely referees.
Yeah, it would be a very tricky job to see what you are doing, but watch the game as well.
Shot, Hannah. 43-27 to the Flames. Laura inside, all close, nice shot. Referees put their whistles away then. That was very handy of them.
Yeah, I think they put the away for Hannah, so I think they had to do it for Laura at the same time.
So unfortunately, Allison caught watching the ball there and let Brody inside. So again, trying to position your chair so you can actually see where your player is, and also have some eye on the ball is really important. So Al, shoot that. Oh, bell up. Rebound to Voley. Mismatch from the baseline. Nice. Money, come on, Allison. She's not happy with herself there.
But it also means that Sydney is on a fast break because they didn't have anyone home.
Yeah. Oh, nice passing. Great passing. Like, give up a shot to get a better shot. What a great pass.
Yeah, we were talking about Annabelle, being the big scorer, but I think now Sydney's just passing it around, seeing who's open and seeing that it's a better option for them.
Yeah. Easy inside. Again, if low pointers are left unmarked, going to the basket, then making a high percentage of those shots is really, really important to your team.
Yeah, it's really hard. The low pointers don't get as much recognition. Like, they're the workhorse. Like, they get the high pointers to the spot they need to, but then when the pick and roll goes bad, they then have to get the shot and finish some crazy layups.
Yeah, they do. And certainly it's always under pressure, eh? Oh, that's one. I should have been a referee in another life. No, thanks. Nice shot. Laura de Violi there. Bree's not happy about that. Bree gets a rest now. Trish comes in. One shot here, 47-33 to the Flames. Make that 34, 47-34.
And then this allows Brisbane to go back, set up their defense, and hopefully have a good set of D to bring them back into an offensive run.
Get a hand up. Good, nice. There's still a better shot. And I don't know if you can, other than your hand to keep her out of the key, but like you turn back into her, you've got your hand up, you're calling shot. I mean, that's just a great shot.
Yeah, sometimes it's just they're too good.
A pass off the backboard. Maybe that wasn't a pass. Nice pass.
Yeah, in the break we were talking about Brisbane maybe putting two high pointers on Annabelle's side, and it looks like they've made that adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have, and it looks, again, just trying to... Annabelle's got a mismatch there. Brody, nice shot.
It is hard when you do put two people on Annabelle. It means that someone else is wide open.
Yeah.
And with the lows that Sydney have helping the high pointers out, it's going to...
Yeah. A nice seal again by Izzy. Oh, shot. Fantastic seal there. Isabel Martin. And she's a very, very quick player, as a low pointer, as a one-pointer. I mean, I think she's had that chair since 1942 because I've... I may have mentioned to her, is there any chance you could probably change your chair just to have a bit of a different setup? Because one of the things you find is as you get into the game, you change chairs, and sometimes it's for the good and sometimes it's not. Have you done it yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Every chair you try and change little things, and sometimes they go terrible.
Yeah.
You just go too much camber, you put your axle bar too far forward so it's too spinny.
Yep.
But you have to run the risk. Like, you want the 1%ers above everyone else, and the chair is one of the amazing things where technology is getting better, and with that you can make yourself a better player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have known Alison since 2008, and she's had the same chair all I known her for. So
that's correct. I mean, the other challenge is, I mean, it's probably not as much challenge these days because of NDIS, but certainly to the chairs. I don't know, what's your chair worth?
Yeah, so I'm very lucky. I'm an ambassador for Sunrise Medical here in Australia.
Okay, unreal.
So they allow me to have access to some of the best chairs in the world.
Unreal.
So I'm very lucky, but with the exchange rate and stuff like that, you're looking around 16 to 20 grand for a chair these days.
Oh my God! I did see a post the other day where it was comparing an electric chair was 23 grand or whatever, and a brand new Hyundai was the same price.
Yeah, for sure.
When you think about it, it's just unbelievable. That's the case, but the volatility line to make that extra just
but it's
out.
Also really hard because they're all custom made, so you can't have a production line to bring an average chair. So I understand where the cost comes from. It's just very hard for athletes to keep forking out that kind of money.
Yeah. Another great seal by Steph there to get the big inside. Excellent job. Yes, I mean, I have now have a special chair that I play for the second greatest sport in the world, Steve, and you won't know this sport, I wouldn't think. Pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
Pickleball, fantastic sport.
Yes, yes.
The only sport I can play now because my shoulders are so stuffed from being in a chair for so long and shooting 10,000 billion shots when I played. Can't really shoot anymore. It's a bit of a shame, but the pickleball is the next greatest sport ever, and people don't know about that. But Dion Ruetti, who is a Queenslander, he's a pickleball champion. Jump that way. Inside, shoot that. Oh, I'd shoot it. 3 seconds. Yeah, so Dion played for many, many years in wheelchair basketball. Now he's a pickleball champion. So the pickleball championships are in Queensland in October, so hopefully he'll be there, and that'll be obviously live streamed. Maybe not. So good D there by Liam. So it'll be interesting now. So they've given Annabelle a rest. So good jump, nice jump. Good.
Yeah, so with Annabelle being off, I think Queensland will be trying to get everyone out of the keyway.
Yeah.
Because we'd rather see Sydney shoot outside.
Yeah. The referee saw that and thought, oh, that's probably a foul. Oh, I better call that.
It's one of those hard ones. Is it accidental contact or is it actually a foul?
Yes, yeah. Very true. So we've got a strong side here now. Outside shooter. Kind of hard the way Laura throws the two-handed shot up. It's not conventional, to say the least, which is, but if it works, then that's fine. It's a two-handed shot. You need a bit more balance. I mean, certainly Hannah has perfected that shot.
Yeah, it's one of those hard ones. I think everyone has a different technique of shooting.
Yeah.
And you just got to pick one that works for you. It might not be for everyone, but if you can consistently do the same shot, then that's the best shot for you.
Yeah. So when I played, many people won't, hopefully will know Andrew Gaze. So in my mind, when I shot the ball, that's who I was. I mean, to follow through the, the way he shot the ball is the way I felt in my head. That's the way I shot it. So, I mean, I think certainly, as a wheelchair basketball player, you look around the world and just find someone, well, they got a great shot. I reckon I want to be like that.
Yeah, it's one of those hard ones, but even if you look at the NBA or, European basketball, everyone has a different shot technique.
Yeah.
But they're trying to perform the same shot, but it's always a little different for each person.
Yeah, I suppose it's trying to find something consistent that's going to give you a high percentage in shooting the ball. 55-37 to the Flames. As I say, Annabelle's having a bit of a rest at the moment. Lisa Tesh, multi-Paralympic player, to Hannah Glass. Oh, no, she's missed one. Maybe a suicide for that training, missing that shot. Oh, nice passing. Good job. Nice pass. Good bounce stop. Oh, nice. Well read. Steph Van Leeuwen, well read. Nice job. It should be a glider, but she's apparently not good enough. So Hannah there, inside cut. And, oh, no, good defence. Trish. Job, Trish.
And just there, Brisbane definitely needed to go back to the keyway. I think that when they let Sydney with this lineup shoot outside, they're getting rebounds and then they're getting fast breaks. So I think they need to keep to the same process.
Yeah. Foul on 22 on Trish there. Mazena Laura she's quick, like super, super quick. And I think, you know, as a 4-pointer, very, very valuable to be able to push that hard. It's just really refining the skills. You know, you look at the import from our Manny from Mexico. Oh my goodness gracious me, man! His chair skills with and without the ball is amazing. Like, just incredible. And you know, I think if some of our girls, 4.5s, and look at someone like that and go, how does he do that? Like, I think that's probably another way to improve too. Is, you know, what kind of stuff do you do?
That comes to trial and error. That's just sitting in your chair on a court, even in your garage, and just trying new things, seeing what works, what doesn't, and then if it doesn't work, keep trying until you find a way that does. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, let's go, Izzy. Oh, offense. Yes. yes. Her shoulder didn't pop out. I think that's why she said yes.
We don't know yet. that or she stopped the play.
So what's her disability that people who may not know her shoulder does pop out and she has to put it back in, or you put it back in?
Yeah, so it just means like the ligaments are stretchy. And the joint capsules are not closed properly. So basically with a lot of pressure or a quick jolt, they'll pop out. And
is it painful?
Yeah, so over the years, it's gotten desensitized, I would guess, with all the nerves and stuff being knocked around. But at the start, yes, I reckon it would have still been very painful. But yeah, just a quick jolt and it'll go back into place and then she's back to normal.
Yeah, that's incredible. Easy inside.
It's really hard. Izzy is usually really good at those layups. Like watching her in Melbourne a few weeks ago playing for Australia, they would have been cash.
Yeah. I mean, it's really about consistency, isn't it? I mean, having something that you do it over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then a bit more to be able to know that you can make any of those shots.
And it's really hard. Like, you can do that in training every time, but until the game happens and like the pressure of the game and the speed of the game,
absolutely.
It's just a new tempo.
And I think that's the part of the players' development. I mean, you do the stuff 1-on-0, then 1-on-1, then 1-on-2, and 2-on-2, and then play in different levels of competition. And this is the highest level of competition in Australia for women. And again, if they're lucky enough to be able to play in the men's league, then that's unreal. If they're not playing outside of that, then it makes it very, very difficult.
For sure. And like the new thing of, going overseas is a great opportunity because you then get to play all year round. So we go from this league straight over to Europe, And over there they have 3 to 4 divisions.
Oh, wow.
So like you might not play in the first division, but if you can get in the second or third division,
Yep.
like it's still great opportunity. You're still playing as a professional, and you get to play all year round.
Yeah, no, it's unreal. I mean, the other option, and when I coached the Gliders, we had Bridie Keane, Kathleen Kelly Kennedy, and Shelley Chapman went to Illinois, so to the college system. And I think, here in Australia, we just don't have the capacity. That's the word that Lorraine Landon spoke to me about last night. The capacity to develop our players quick enough. And I think, in the college system where they just flog the death out of basic skills and drills, and you train twice a day, and you're in your gym, and play a zillion games. It's to me, as a young player, if I had the opportunity to go and do something like that. And I suppose the other thing is that eventually wheelchair basketball does not pay the bills. It just doesn't pay the bills. You have to have something else behind you. Do you agree in that area?
Yeah, for sure. And like, if you can go and study and play basketball, like it gives you another outlet and another purpose in life. So like, if basketball's getting tough, you put yourself in your studies, and then if studies are getting tough, then you have your basketball. I'm a huge believer that you need to have an outlet, and study is a great opportunity.
Yeah, and if you get a degree and things like that, which Kathleen and Bridie, we look at Bridie today. Is she a chef, assistant chef de mission for?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
she went to uni and did all that stuff, and has a great job in Queensland. What part of the world in Queensland does she work up there?
So she works at the Sunshine Coast University.
Yep.
So that's the university that I just graduated from.
And what did you graduate?
Sports studies, so
right.
Exercise science, and then minor in event management.
Well, how mad's that? That's
Yeah.
unreal.
So I just graduated this year,
Fantastic.
and then so she works there, and she's a lecturer up there,
Yep.
and she does wonderful things there. And like, as I was a high performance athlete there, like I was able to train every day under USC, but then also study, and like they were able to change whatever I needed to study. So it's a great opportunity, and I think we need to do it a lot more in Australia, so that we can get like the college systems.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. I mean, I think if we had that opportunity in Australia to make that happen, and then play in a level of competition that would, increase those skills, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Inside, nice. Great pass.
And that was great from Brisbane, just passing the ball around to see who was open.
Yep. And so number 13, she young girl, where's she from in Queensland?
Yeah, so she's up from Rockhampton.
Oh, wow.
So all the way up north.
That's a fair drive.
Yeah, so that's mostly flying, because it's about an 8.5 hour each way drive from there to Brisbane. So.
Wow. Oh, my God. Push, young, push.
But it's great that these guys are getting an opportunity to play at this level.
Yeah. Get it up, Dory. Come on, Dory. Yeah, it is fantastic for her to get the experience playing here. Hannah might just chuck that up. Great shot.
But you can see that, Sydney's trying to get everyone back. They work really hard to get everyone back. And I think Brisbane is lacking that little bit of team thing, the one percenters, as we call it.
Yeah. Shoot that. Nice shot. That's a nice shot. Is she a left-hander? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if it's a two-handed shot or a lefty.
Yeah, it looks a bit leftish. It's a nice follow-through on it.
But the good thing over the stats, the Brisbane team only allowed 1 points over turnovers in that quarter.
That's unreal.
That's a really good thing for them.
Yeah. How are the points in the paint going? That go up a little bit for the Flames in that quarter?
Yeah, so points in the paint are 40 to 22.
Yep.
So that's a very big one where I think they need to pack the paint a little bit more and let Sydney try and beat them from the outside.
Yeah, that's for sure, yeah. Good take, nice pass. So Liesel's got one out. Ooh. So everyone's back now. It's all matched up. Tracy on the outside. A little bit short on that one.
That was awesome for Brisbane, getting back early,
Yes.
setting up their defence, and it made them have an outside shot that dropped short.
Good pass, nice catch. I mean, one of the things you probably don't realise in wheelchair basketball and compared to the able-bodied or stand-up game is we catch the ball with one hand so many times. Like you pass and catch. Ooh, offence. No basket. No basket. Offensive foul. Ooh, it's a shame. Yeah, so we catch the ball one-handed and pass because you have to somehow control your chair at the same time, and you know, using your body and straps and things like that is kind of handy. But you pass fast, pass and catch so many times that it's a skill that is certainly very, very useful in wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, for sure. So the higher pointers will have more mobility in their hips and stuff like that, so they're able to do a little bit with that. But yeah, it's still a lot easier to catch it with one hand and stuff like that. And then you have control of your chair always with the other hand.
Yeah.
But when you have lower pointers, it's more vital to always have one hand on the wheel.
Yeah, yeah. Nice cross there, Maddie.
Brisbane beating the press and leading to an easy layup.
61-45 to the Flames. Dory's got that one covered. Yeah, so Liesl Tesh, I coached her in a couple of Paralympics. But also, she's a champion sailor, so she went from knowing nothing about sailing, and this guy, I can't think of the guy's name, who was a sailing partner, very high quad, decided to ask her to come and to be her crew person, and yeah, they won gold medal in sailing. Was it London? Could have been London. Rio, was it? There you go, Rio. Yeah.
But it's amazing how adaptive these athletes are.
Yeah.
You know, like Hannah was a horse rider before she became to basketball.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have people that went from basketball to rugby and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice shot. And I was very, very fortunate to meet Hannah's parents in London. I was there as a spectator, the best Paralympics I've ever been to, didn't have to coach. And they were at the opening ceremony in a hotel, and they're telling me about their daughter, who's a nice shot, unlucky, that, you know, is a horse rider and does this and does that. And oh, really? That's unreal. I said, oh, why does she do basketball? And thankfully, somehow that message got to her because, you know, she's been a fantastic player for Australia and hopefully will be for a long time to come.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, anyone I see, why aren't you playing basketball? Why are you playing that dud sport, AFL or wheelchair rugby league? They're fine sports, absolutely fine sports, but I'm a little bit biased to say at least that to try and get as many people to play wheelchair basketball. In fact, the other day, I was got my car service, wheeling down the road, nice shot, Tivoli, and this guy comes along in his crutches, single leg amputee. I said, excuse me, mate, this is a weird question. Do you want to play wheelchair basketball? He goes, yeah, I wouldn't mind have a go at that. So, like, gave him information and, you know, not sure if he started playing it, but certainly, I know it's a white line. It's lots of lines in his court, and the blue one's not the outline. Helen.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think a lot of people don't know the opportunities they have in wheelchair basketball, and that could be just locations of their local leagues or where they can go. Do you have those kind of information?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. I mean, hopefully on the Wheelchair Basketball Australia website somewhere there'll be find out where you can play. But like each state, certainly in New South Wales here, we have New South Wales /ACT Wheelchair Sport, who now have 23 clubs around New South Wales. So certainly they're the people to contact here. I would say Basketball Victoria, Basketball South Australia, Rebound in WA, Northern Territory. I would say their Basketball Association. Then in Queensland is
Sporting Wheelies.
Yep.
Yeah. They've been a great organisation for so many years. And they do all the sports there for disabilities.
Yeah, and I think the thing we've got to realise as athletes and ex-athletes and coaches is that everyone is a wheelchair basketball development officer, but we don't know it because, my theory in life is don't be scared to ask. People may say yes. And I don't know, I've asked lots and lots of players over time, do you want to play? Oh, maybe, yeah, okay, I'll just come and have a go. So I think we've got to do ourselves a favour and, promote the fact, okay, would you like to play? This is a great sport. It's fun. It's exhilarating. It's at different levels. So I think we've got to be able to have that mindset that we all are basketball development people.
Yeah, we got to be self-promoting, I think.
Yeah.
We've got so many good programs here, but if we can self-promote, and with the technology we have these days, I think it's the best outlet.
Yeah, and I think social media's got a lot to answer for in the wrongs in the world, but certainly for being able to promote wheelchair basketball through social media is a great idea. Like, for instance, I'm on every disability Facebook support group known to man. In Australia, because I just post everything about stuff wheelchair sport are doing in New South Wales.
Yep.
Like in fact, like there's a disease I've never heard of before. It's called Purpose disease, and it mainly affects young boys with their hips. So we have 2 young boys in the Manly team who have Purpose disease, and so get on the Facebook group, post stuff. So around Australia now, there's a number of people playing, not only wheelchair basketball, but tennis and different sports that have that disease. So, which is unreal, and I think the cerebral palsy, people with mild cerebral palsy can play. So it's just about, you have an event, post it somewhere, someone might see it, and that's just because I think it's all about selling our product. We've got a great product, and we just got to be willing to be able to say, let's try and sell it.
Yep. For sure. And social media, I know you yourself do a lot of posts about drills and stuff like that. And those little things get posted around the world, and it allows us to market ourselves as well.
Yeah. So I started the Wheelchair Basketball Skills and Drills site up on Facebook because there was nothing really on Facebook to nice pass, great pass. There's nothing really on and video around the world about wheelchair basketball, because in the able-bodied world, there are thousands of sites that show maybe the same drill, the same concept. So I thought, why isn't it? Why don't we spread the love and the knowledge around the place? And I think, some people are a bit guarded about, I don't want to show my drill because some other team might get it, might be better than us. But to me, it's like, share the thing so everyone can, can benefit from it around the world. And I think that's the beauty of having that site. And I think we nearly got nearly 9,000 members around the world, and I just say to coaches, players, just post something on there. It doesn't have to be incredibly technical drill or anything. Just post stuff that people can learn from.
Yeah, sure, and it would give inspiration to another athlete. They see someone else doing it. Oh, I could do that.
Yeah,
and it just increases our sports.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I think the women are back on the path to try and qualify, and I think it's obviously very, very, very disappointing they didn't qualify for this Paralympics. And it's only second time in history, and it's going to be even tougher now because there's only 8 teams, 8 men's and 8 women's teams at the Paralympics, and there's no host nation in the past would get an automatic qualification, so that doesn't happen. So, and it's going to be very, very challenging to qualify for our own Paralympics in 32. So yeah, that's one of the challenges, I think. And to me, it's one of the biggest things is that, we just have to find a way to get bums on seats. Get people to play, and knowing how to do that. Shot Dory, nice fire, yes. Use the ring there to great advantage. I mean, the thing that disappoints me is that there doesn't seem any organisation, either BA or whoever it may be, that want to get people together and say, well, what do you guys do? How do you do it in that state? Does that work? Does that not work? Where can we, what works, what doesn't? How can we find ways to, especially women, find women to get them to play? So that's disappointing. Nice job.
Yeah, I find that, NDIS has been a huge help for people with disability, but I feel like some people now think that a lot of the sports are just helped by NDIS.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are non-profit organisations that need people to help financially.
Yeah.
They don't get much funding from NDIS because they're helping people with a disability in everyday life.
Yeah.
So, with those support networks like Wheelchair Sports, Sporting Wheelies and stuff like that, they still need your financial help as well.
Yeah.
And that helps increase our awareness to the sports, but it also gives us opportunities like these events that can be covered then.
Yeah. Well, I just saw recently that Paralympic Australia had got $50 million from the government. Well, that's absolutely fine, but somewhere along the line, you just don't turn up and play in a Paralympics. You're not a Paralympic athlete. So who does all the hard work? Who does all the hard yards? Finding people, getting them into programs, getting into competitions. Who does all that work? Well, majority of the things used to be wheelchair sport organisations. And I think at the moment, probably New South Wales here and Sporting Wheelies are the only disabled wheelchair associations still left in Australia.
Yep. And it's super hard. I know everyone is hard with that kind of stuff, but without them, we don't have the opportunities we have.
No, and I think at the moment, the Wheelchair Sport in New South Wales here have a program on Facebook and Instagram is before they were Paralympians. Somewhere along the line they started out, and organisations like Wheelchair Sport and those organisations, have competitions. They loan chairs to people to start out. So without them, there are no Paralympians.
Yep. With 1 minute to go, it's 65-56 to Sydney. Brisbane are slowly bringing it back, but I think they might run out of time.
But again, to score 56 minutes again, their highest score this season, you can see the improvement. The coaching's kind of worked out well. They've had a kind of rough. There's a 3 by Dory.
Yeah, you see the improvement every game, and it's super hard, as we said at the start, that these guys don't train together, don't live together kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it would take a few minutes every time they do to get back to it.
Yeah.
But it's really good to see that Laura's taking the game on.
Yeah, she's having a crack, It's unreal. Yeah. She's going to be a fantastic player of the future, Just her hope of the future development will be increased somehow through this league or other competitions she plays in.
Yeah, and I think a big thing for her is self-confidence. She's a very talented player, and when she's confident, she's hot.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as any player. Like Jane Spring.
Sydney's ball? No.
Queensland's
it's
ball.
Brisbane with 8.2 seconds left.
Off her back. 2 and shoot it. Oh! Is that last basket wins?
But it's a great finish for them.
What a great finish. What a great weekend. They improved every game, and it's the women's players are improving. The referees done a great job today. Again, thank you to Wheelchair Basketball Australia for firstly coming up with the concept of having their own organisation that will looking after our national leagues this year, which has been fantastic. Thank you, Stephen Elliott, for absolutely put you on the spot to be my little commentating partner here today. It's been fantastic to have you here.
No, thank you for having me.
No worries. So we're over and out from here. We'll see you at the next round of either the Wheelchair Basketball League or the women's wheelchair basketball league. Thank you kindly.